up, everybody?
Yeah.
Party people!
Wow.
Hey.
It's been another episode of On the Back Action. I'm glad you could join us today. You can find us on
Bill Nye.
Immediately ended.
gosh.
Like, thanks for joining us.
Anyway, how's everybody doing?
Well, back to school sickness. I'm recovering.
I've got a little tinge of that now. The boys are passing it around, so.
Oh yeah, I got strep throat from a student in 3 days back at school. So
I mean, when they cough to the back of your throat.
That's a new record.
How many days did you miss?
I just missed one.
Oh.
Dang, taking a sick day the first full week of school.
Yeah, I should have took 2 days, honestly. But you know how that goes.
It's real.
Listen,
that I do. It's funny you said that. You sent that message, and then like later that night, my throat was like, "Hey," I'm like,
"Me too, man." I'm like, "Dang it!" Like,
well, when I woke up Saturday in the Airbnb, my throat was really bothering me, but I couldn't decide whether it was because it was 32 degrees Celsius in that Airbnb, or
that's actually pretty good. That's a pretty good temp.
Okay, or whatever, negative 32 degrees Fahrenheit in that Airbnb. It was freezing cold, or I had snored all night, or what. But then about Sunday on our way home, my neck started hurting me, and that's how I know I'm getting sick, is if my neck gets real stiff and sore. So I was like, oh shoot, here it comes. And then I just never got any better. And then Wednesday, I was like, Wednesday night, I was like, I got to go to the doctor tomorrow. So I went, and she came in. She was like, well, I had to wait in my car first because they were backed up. And she called me while the nurse practitioner called me. She was like, so we're going to try and like have you answer these questions so that way when you come in, we can go ahead and like swab you and get you out. And I was like, I already know I have strep throat. She's like, what? I was like, I had 3 kids in my homeroom that had it within the first 3 days of school. I know I've got strep. She's like, oh, that makes sense. And sure enough, she's like, as soon as we dipped it like in the whatever, it like lit up. It's like, so yay, antibiotics.
Right. Yeah, so I immediately started taking airborne as soon as I feel that little. I was like, no, let me go ahead and take like 8 of these.
Yep, it's a thing.
So yeah, a friend of mine, she was like, everybody's sick in the house. I was like, they just went back to school. Like,
yep.
She's like, oh,
it's real.
Will's up there by himself, not worried about the sickness.
I told y'all in the chat I had the same thing.
Yeah, you did.
I said
yours
first
is airport, but ain't much better.
That's true.
First thing I felt, I immediately took something. I wasn't playing with it, so.
Nah, that's how I am. I try to jump on it before I feel bad. Ain't got time for it. I'm always like, let me get sick on a 3-day weekend. Let me get sick on a Friday. Just feel bad all weekend.
I don't know, man. There's some days it feels good to take that sick day. Sometimes.
You're taking one. Well, I mean, okay, I've taken one, but like,
how many days you got? Like 3,000 now?
244.
God bless.
Shoot.
You know how many I have? 42. That's what I got.
So, and the only reason why I took the sick days that I did, 2 of them was for funeral, and 2 of them were for when I went home because my blood pressure was really high. I went home and they was like, we don't know what it is. Are you stressed? I was like, maybe. I had a concert tonight.
Am I
You're not going to that concert. I was like, okay.
Okay.
I'm a teacher. Of course I'm stressed. Like, what do you...
So I didn't go to the school the next day, and then I went back Thursday, and they looked at me and was like, go home. I was like, but go home. But go home. So I missed Friday. It was last week. It was like the week before Christmas break. So I missed Wednesday and Friday. I was like, okay, sorry. But then I figured out I had sleep apnea.
Yay.
And when I got that CPAP machine, blood pressure has leveled out.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, we've been going DCI finals for how long now? It's been. I think we're
I mean,
double
he built
digits
At
now.
least 10 years.
Yeah. Before
The
Sid
four
had
of
that
us.
had that CPAP machine, it was rough.
Hmm.
It was rough. But now you got it.
I
Nothing.
tell that
And
story
now
Now
about.
I'm the issue.
other people keep others awake at night for their.
Mine's just annoying, I think, is what
Mm.
mine is.
I don't
think
know.
I'm like
Yours
that.
was getting a little loud there, sir.
Probably because I
I
was
was,
tired.
I was actually kind of worried because I was just like, when I woke up that first night, I looked over at Will, and he was on his phone. I was like, oh no, I kept Will up all night, and he was like, man, this is the best sleep I ever had. I was like, oh.
Meanwhile, in the room next door,
Yeah, I was
actually in
destroying
the
some
living
logs.
room, on underneath the comforter.
Yeah, I woke up. I looked at the other bed, and Zach's gone. I was like, "Damn it! I know I got him out. I know I ran him out."
It's fine. I just went and slept on the street.
No, that
It
Airbnb
probably
was
would have
nice
been
enough.
quieter.
I don't know though. Those Lamborghinis, they want to be Lamborghinis.
Oh my
or whatever
gosh.
they
I
are.
mean, I know
Oh.
it's Indy, but the Indy 500 was over. They should not have been having that down the middle of Market Street.
And there was one time we were about to go to sleep. We just hear, I'm like, God, man,
Yeah.
When I put that mask on, I'm out.
It's a thing.
It really
It's a thing.
is because
It
you
really is. Like
you
your
was
body's
watching something.
conditioned.
Mhm.
You was watching something on your phone and it was on repeat.
I'm the same.
And it
I'm the
never stopped. You was on Instagram or something. I was like, you know what? I ain't even gonna say nothing. I was just
let him be. Let him be. Yep.
the
And
thing.
then
When I put my mask on, it's a wrap. I just didn't feel like fooling with mine for 2 nights.
I already had the comm going, the comm app, and then he had his phone going on. I was like, this is just extra for me. And then I was done. Plus, I was already coming off of the plane anyway, so
Mhm.
and I ain't slept that night
Will's
before
trying
because
to
of
listen to
somebody.
his sleep meditation.
Listen, y'all
Yeah,
need
he
this app.
was like, can you
Take
play
it.
calm? He's like, can I play calm? I was like, yes, you can.
Take a deep
So
breath.
he had calm
Picture
on
yourself.
and my mask, and it was just like, whatever, coma.
Sid just got lifted off to a planet he'd never been to
For real,
before.
Crazy.
Will's picture himself at a seaside cottage as the waves roll in.
It's not a joke. I got
Y'all
that
could
thing
have a
set to
party
30
in the-
minutes. It'll go
Now,
off in 30 minutes.
exhale as you see the flock of seagulls flying south for the winter.
So y'all could have had a party in the living room. I
Wouldn't even know.
and I think it's all crazy because we were all up before 8.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, we have reached a new level of old people, man.
Yes.
That's what has happened.
Like I felt like we sat around the Airbnb for like 6 hours, and then it was like not even lunchtime yet.
No.
I was like,
We like
what are we gonna do?
we ate and then basically came back and went to bed. Woke up. You went to TJ Maxx. Y'all went to TJ Maxx
Yeah.
and then came back and it was still like 8:30. Like it's like, wait a minute. I lived a full day and it's only an hour. I don't know.
Welcome to Life with Kids. 6 o'clock every day. Bow.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, a week. I'll let you head out.
It's crazy.
But we got
Anyways.
some fun stuff today.
Pageantry arts.
Think about our Airbnb being fun. I don't know. I mean, we had fun. That's what the Keurig and did anybody use the blender?
Should we real quick talk about the quest that we had to go on to get into the Airbnb? Because that was insane.
That might have been the best part of the whole thing.
So,
Not really.
I have never used an Airbnb before.
Not that kind.
Okay.
I have, but not
Usually
to
they
that
are
degree.
not that
No.
bad on any level. It's
No, it
you
wasn't that it
pull,
was
you
bad.
No,
drive
no,
up and get out and go in. That's what they
Preface
usually-
this: we loved our Airbnb, and it was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yes.
turned out to
5-star
be great.
rating.
It wasn't
Yeah.
bad. It was just
12 out of 10 would
convoluted?
recommend.
Is that a good word?
Yeah.
It was what?
Convoluted.
Oh, mhm.
We had to cross Middle Earth to get to the.
So
you gotta track Mordor and
We're-
then fight
we're
Sauron
in-
just to get up in there.
So we're staying in a loft apartment in downtown Indianapolis. So we're like in one of the big buildings. The instructions to get into said building, which was like you were in an escape room. I'm trying to be.
It literally was.
You're gonna have to pause, man.
I wish I had a
man.
recorder at my desk. I'd have played that on my recorder.
Oh. Okay, continue.
Sorry,
Start
y'all.
over.
So the instructions, which were thorough and which were accurate, like if
Very
we
detailed.
said
It really was. That's
what
the
we
crazy
said we were
part.
gonna do, if we did what it said, we would. It's no problem. And not that we had a problem. It was just,
No.
and it was basically
Well,
choose your own.
We
adventure.
loved
One
it.
of
though.
us had a problem. With
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
You know, but yeah, it was like enter the code here and then go to the last two elevators and then take the third left, but don't take the right left, because if you take the left over right, then it was like, huh?
We had like
It
6
was-
codes to get in.
It was very much an escape room.
Yes, but we solved it. We got it first try. Parking
We
was a
did.
little interesting, but
Listen, I forgot one key word, and
Key.
fob.
yeah, fob. I forgot
Key.
the fob part of that.
The key.
And the key.
But nah, it was great. Our host was great. She even gave us
Yes.
an hour, and I think she was going to give us more. It probably had to let her know that we needed it ahead of time. But
Listen, if
probably
you get an
definitely-
Airbnb for Indy instead of a hotel, it's worth it, man.
Yeah.
It was pretty nice.
yeah,
especially
it
got
was-
multiple people because we had
Just
like,
don't steal ours, because
yeah,
Nah,
we're locking that down.
I'm probably, when I get tickets, I'm just gonna go ahead and get that one if I can remember the same one that it was. She did give me her private email, so I can email her and be like, hey,
block this date out.
Tell them to fix the dungeon elevator.
Oh gosh.
I'm pretty sure that's just a building thing.
Yeah, that's just the building itself.
I was like, I wonder if those other elevators do work. They just don't use them.
No, man, there's no buttons.
There's
Well-
nothing. They took everything out. So
They said that
probably
only the
don't.
last 2 elevators work, but I only saw one of
Yeah,
them
we
ever
only ever
open.
used the one.
Yeah.
So somebody lying.
So I don't know. But yeah, so Airbnb, do recommend. So all right. So we're gonna have a little fun today, and I'm gonna let Chris kind of take the lead.
Not that we haven't already been having fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's been cool.
So, DCI season's over, and
R.I.P.
yes, we have to wait until April again to get things going. But
Go to the troopers.
we,
Right.
we have the thought to do kind of like the best of, or our favorite moments and parts of the DCI season, and just kind of go around and kind of recap what we felt, our personal opinions about our favorite parts of DCI this year. So these are all of our opinions. This is just how we feel, right?
That's my opinion.
That's my opinion. And so just have fun with it, kind of wrap up the 2024 season with a nice little bow. And hopefully we hear from you all in the comments of what you think about each of these categories. Comment in our below here and let us know how you felt about those and why.
I say we can do. I know we can do YouTube polls, and we could probably do Twitter polls too.
Think so.
Twitter
The
polls,
Twitter
are harder
polls,
than
I don't know how
YouTube.
long they are.
Yeah.
I know you can
I
do
think-
2 things on there.
Just
Or
comment.
maybe 3.
Comment below. what
Comment,
you
do all the
wanna
things,
do.
hit all the buttons.
Yeah,
You
do all of it. All that stuff. All right.
Send
so-
a messenger pigeon with
Yeah.
your vote.
I got one.
Let's start. Okay. Who wants to go first? Who
Well,
wants to
what's the category?
go? Well, I want to know who wants to go first before I give that out.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Will's a birthday boy, so we'll
Yeah!
do it.
Happy birthday, Will.
to
Happy
you.
birthday, Will.
Happy
Birthday, boy,
to
yeah.
you.
Birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
We just got DCMA like 5
Craziest-
times in this show.
Oh.
Just to let you know.
Oops.
All right.
That actually might be
Will.
public domain.
Yes.
I sing it out of tune enough; it doesn't count.
Okay. All right. We'll start with Will, then we'll go Zach, and we'll go Sid, and then I'll go last because I'm doing this. All right. We're gonna start with favorite solo / feature. Which group had your favorite solo or feature?
That's too easy.
Mm,
You already know that's Phantom Regiment.
Yeah.
That's Phantom Regiment.
Yep, Phantom.
Zach. Okay.
I do have an honorable mention though. Go ahead, Cedric.
I was gonna say Phantom as well. That duet was crazy, but I'm not like him. I do have a moment that sticks out in my brain. That's not them as well.
Honorable mention, probably the ballad soloists from Blue Coats.
It's a good one. My top one is Phantom as well. That was really good. Said, what's your honorable mention?
It was really short, but it was a change, and that's the low brass baritone tuba feature little thing that they had in the wormhole section. Just the harmony structure and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that's really cool, and it sticks out. Like I will not forget that, and I'm gonna try to find a way to steal it. Put it in
I have an honorable mention.
Who was that?
Boston.
What
group was it that had the mega screamer that would scream for?
Oh, Colts.
Colts. That's my honorable mention.
Here's the crazy thing: the fact that you said mega screamer and we went to Colts.
Yeah.
If that lets you know,
that's right.
Because normally you would have said BD or Matt.
That's true.
So yeah, shout out to that.
Every time we watch a Colts show, every single time we all laughed and
like third lung.
Brought that up. Right. Held it out for 92 counts.
Like, bruh.
Like it's still ringing.
Like he has one note the whole show.
Yeah, he didn't play anything.
I mean, how can you have more notes after you do that? Like, man,
your chops are on different level if you do.
And now he's like at his college marching band playing Go Big Blue or something.
I swear.
It's like
I want to know if that was written out. I want to know if that was written out or they just said, "Hey,
which one of y'all can do this?" I can. Okay,
it could have been both. They could have been like, "Hey,
if you was written out, I would have been like, did you forget to?"
Why are there 47 ledger lines?
It's really 48 count. It's really that's what you want me to. Okay.
Why is there a fermata on top of this?
Yeah, right. But everybody else is still going.
Why does it say till the end of time?
Till you see spots, and then you and then. All right, next one. We'll go Zach. We'll kind of snake this a little bit. Not snake, but Serpentine. Thank you. There we go. We're gonna do favorite visual package this year. So, what group did you have your favorite visual package? I know I have a couple that could fall in this category.
I'm gonna stay on it. Colts.
Okay, why Colts?
The way they use that uniform and the drill to complement that, I think it was excellent. Okay.
Said.
I'm gonna say Boston. I really like the use of the hoops. I really like the use of the different color palette with the uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable mention for me would be Blue Coats, though. That's just good. That's just good on marching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a different direction on this one, and they were not a finalist group. I'm gonna say Spirit. I liked what they did. Like, I guess I can go into props too if you wanted to, kind of in that way. But I just like what they did with that show and kind of what it was all about, and
like the aesthetic.
Yes, trying different things that are new. I'd also say if I was going to put another one in there, probably Boston is another strong pick for me. That's just a cool idea. That goes along with that. So, but I like Spirit. I think they have some cool ideas with that.
that was a cool
It's very
you know,
interesting,
setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
intriguing.
William?
This it's kind of like what you said. It might bleed into something else or another category, but I'm saying SCV
Mm.
because the incorporation with that, with the color guard, and to think of all of that
Hmm.
is real next level to me.
It's
To
big
see
brain.
that downfield where we were
Hmm.
Because you
made
have
it
to
even more special, I think.
That's big
the,
brain.
the plotting and planning, and it's like, bruh, like
Hmm.
I wouldn't know what to do. It's like you take a piece of equipment out from one person. Does it matter where it goes? Does it have to go back in the same bag? Does everybody just have a complete understanding? We all use all each other's equipment individually because sometimes uh, color guards, they get their equipment to their feel. Like maybe the strap's tighter, or maybe the strap's doing this, or maybe
Hmm.
they put more tape here or tape there. It's so I don't. I was pretty mind blown when I watched the video of them explaining that show, and that's what
Hmm.
they did, and I was just like, yeah,
It just like there was
that's
so many layers that they kind of
yeah,
peeled back, and when they revealed one thing, it made two or three more things make sense.
mm-hmm,
I think that's where, like, you think about, like, I mean, it makes you appreciate the whole idea of vagabond, right? That, like, I
mm-hmm,
mean, that's what they talk about in that video. Like, it's a traveler. They're going to have stuff with them. They're not going to have, they're very nomadic, and like that,
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
like that alone, I wish, like, judges could see. I know they can't judge that, but, like, getting that idea, I'm sure they were smart enough to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, if you haven't seen that video, go to their Instagram, or I think it's Instagram. I think that's what it was on. Um,
I believe it's on YouTube
or
as
YouTube as
well.
well. Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw it on Instagram, but yeah, it is. It should be on
Hmm.
YouTube too.
yeah. So check that out because it make you appreciate that show even more than what
Mm.
it is. All right, next one we have. We're getting into some individual areas. So favorite brass this year. Your favorite brass section, Cedric.
Hmm.
This is a tough one.
Yeah. Um. Man, it's really close. I'm gonna give the edge to Blue Coats for me, just because of what they played. Um, just the sense of detail to articulations, um, and not only articulation but releases. Like if they want a fat chord,
Hmm.
this when you think it's gonna just be a nice just staccato marcato hit, they'll make it a fat chord and the appropriateness of with how it's layered with everything else, and they do a lot of that on the move. It's so for me, it's real close with Blue Coats. Close second behind was Boston's book. They do a lot of really cool things as well. And I might have liked their book a little better. Some of that work a little better, but Blue
I
Coats.
am going to say, for me, I'm a very raw, edgy kind of person when it comes to the shows I like, and kind of on like the dark side of things. Like, it's kind of how I feel when, if you ever see the group that I worked with, there's a theme there, and there's a reason why. Because the guy I worked with, Nathaniel, kind of felt the same way. But my favorite brass section would be Phantom for me, with those things in mind. Just I love raw and just a little bit of just on the edges of stuff. It just gives more impact to me. Um, so fan would be the one that I would say is the one for me. So, Will.
Yeah. This year specifically, yeah, it was Phantom. That they might. I'm probably telling on myself, but they might have my favorite show this year, just in just in general. I don't know what it like. I dig stuff like that. I think what really happens when I figured out what the boxes were, and
Oh
and
yeah,
it just kept clicking to me and stuff like that. But yeah,
Zach.
Excuse me. I'm gonna go with Boston. I think, and it's purely because of the rich low brass section, like the warmth and just oozy caramel pie, whatever it is, feelings that happen when that
It's
low
a,
brass section was playing. It was just buttery smooth,
it's a rich
man.
sound.
Yeah,
So
that youth
warm and
baritone.
rich, just man.
If I can combine Boston's euphonium and baritone section with Blue Coat's Susan
Contraline.
Contraline, oh my
Mm,
god.
mm, mm,
Oh,
it's
mm.
gonna tear a hole in the earth.
right? It would.
And we'll go ahead and throw BD's
Cool.
high brass on there, or crowns even.
I'm gonna say
BD's
none of us
Probably
mentioned
crowns.
Crown.
Crowns
BD
mellophones probably,
Crown's mellophones with BD
and
socks.
BD sops. Yep. Oh, build your perfect core right there, man.
It was a good year for brass section, man. I feel like top
There's
to
a lot of good
bottom.
ones, man.
Nobody
Like
just ran away with it.
No.
no, I mean it was easily your top
Mm.
six were. I mean they were right there when it came to that stuff. So, all right, next section we're gonna do favorite guard. We are back to William at the top. So favorite guard.
Favorite guard.
Yeah, who did you like the most?
Crazy enough, these two were actually pretty close. I'm gonna give it to BD. I'm gonna give it to BD.
Mm.
Listen, when you like break certain things down, like it's like I don't want to compare him to Boston,
That's
but
yeah.
uh,
I feel like Boston's a given.
it is,
Besides
and
Boston, who's your favorite guard?
they have. I think they have such. I think it's the both of those have such high creativity in that section. I think what it is with Crown is that it's it's a lot of stuff. It's just like Sid says a lot of times. It's like they're so polished. It's just so it's so smooth and it just it ain't easy at all. And that's not what or anything. But I think I'm giving BD that edge because I like that individual creativity and how they can really emphasize a soloist and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's a tough section, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough section because, bro, you can make a hard case for the Colts. I could make a just as hard one because of what SEV had to deal with this year and with their color guard. So, but yeah, BD.
Zach.
Um, I'm gonna go with this group because it was nice to see them back, and I'm gonna say Crown.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
It's
pick.
been a while for them,
Crown
man.
Guard, Crown Guard had a good year this year. You know, they were cream of the crop around like the Inferno season, and then Boston really got hot and picked up a lot of slack, and just started catching fire. And now Crown's kind of gotten themselves back up to putting themselves in the conversation a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. I'm not saying they're as good as Boston's group, but they've definitely put themselves back up into the top.
And this ain't about best, it's favorite. So though
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's your preference. So Cedric.
that's my opinion.
I mean, my favorite's Blue Coats. I can only remember guard moments from them. You
Hmm.
know, Boston being Boston. I mean, yes, they're throwing 37s all over the place and catching them between their toes. Like, that's what you do. But
Yep.
I mean, that flag phrase was just something else, and not
Hmm.
not that it was ultra difficult, but the fact that they let the color guard carry the musical
Hmm.
weight, that just
Crazy.
said something. And then
It's
when you get to
innovative, man.
Yeah, and then when you get to looking at what they really did, I mean, I
So
told
Mike,
Will while we were watching it, it's like that reminds me of like a WGI winter guard show mixed with a WGI percussion show mixed with a drum corps show. Like, I mean, they were all throwing stuff, they were all catching stuff, and it was, just lots of really, really, really cool stuff. So, besides Boston, Bluecoats for me was that BD's probably a really, really, really close third.
I'm gonna back up with Will. I'm going BD as well. I just think it's just fun. If you ever want to watch a group just for the guard, Boston. I mean, it's Boston, but like for like just craziness, I like BD. Like I feel like they're always trying to push what they're doing in the guard department. It might not seem like a lot of times overall core wise, it doesn't feel like BD is doing a lot of just like we always hear a lot of times with BD they're going to the sheets, right? That's kind of what we hear. But like I feel like with the guard, you do see some differences in them trying different things with that. So I enjoyed their guard this year. That was one of my focal points this year was to watch the guard more, just because I'm not a guard guy, right? It's brass player and that. So I really tried to focus on that, and I really enjoy BD there. All right, last section. Favorite percussion, Zach.
I mean, um, I'd I'd probably have to go with Vanguard. Um, I know I mean, they won, but I mean, they're just just unreal. Like from that first like hit where they have that just huge shot, and then there's a beat of silence, and then the whole core comes in. Just
No, they
it's
was
like
just
okay,
mad as hell.
yep, just
Finally,
that's
that's all
fine,
that was.
that's fine.
They was just mad as hell.
Like that's how we're gonna be.
Just
Honorable
call it what it
mention,
is.
honorable
Yeah.
mention though, uh, Troopers.
Okay.
Not a good year this year.
Mm-hmm.
Said
I'm gonna answer this in two ways. My favorite core of the night was SCV.
Ooh,
They
yeah.
they came out.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about an SCV shot that just hurts your soul.
I mean, how do you hit a shot and suck all the sound out at the same time?
I
That's
mean,
what I want
Push,
to know.
man. You push instead of a whole bunch of arm and lift. You just push on that. You just push dead on it, and them jokers is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
but of the season, just for sheer content and what the book was, and I'm gonna sound like a Blue Coast homer, but it's just so innovative.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to piggyback off you. I'm with you, Blue Coats.
I mean, there's just a section where the tenor book and the Malabook's the same, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an accelerando. It's just they just do some dumb stuff, just not right. And Blue Devils used to do stuff like this, like early 2000s. Like they would do some ridiculous accelerandos. Like that was kind of like their stick for a long time. But it was just the front. I don't ever really remember them doing it with like part of the battery, and then all of the sound effects, and because somebody's got to actuate all that stuff. so SCV for the night, Blue for the season, honorable mention Boston because it's much improved. If there's a much improved award, I don't know. It's hard to improve on from going from second place to second place, but
Well, I mean, their front. I mean, that's what you all been saying for a long time. Their front need to step up, and it finally did.
Yeah.
So, like mine was Blue Coats as well. So,
it's good to go back and wonder about last year, but anyway.
Will.
Do you give yours?
I said Blue Coats.
Okay. Oh yeah, you said you picked that.
It's weird. It's
tough.
because it's too much to say a specific favorite because too many groups this year had sections that spoke louder than the other section,
Mm-hmm.
which made it tough to say your whole perk is it.
Yeah, that
And
makes sense.
because I had been running, if I had to just flat out say, which is first of all, it's crazy for me to say, it's Boston this year, but it's SEV's front. I
Always.
I had a chance to I dissected Boston's battery, and I think what makes me like Boston so much is because this is one of the years, and I think I said it before, that I felt like they figured out how to write all them notes without destroying the horn line,
Mm-hmm.
without overshadowing or being on top of the horn line. It was the most blended show. Even when they had their moments,
Mhm.
it wasn't so hardcore heavy battery. The front still got their licks in, and they started to finally balance things out. And that gave me notice. So I started dissecting some of the battery book, and at the end of that, I was like, this is just absolutely tough. Like it really is tough. And I was like, and it's the best creative writing that I've heard them do because the past couple of years, I felt like it's just been notes on pages. It's been
Mm-hmm.
notes, 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 notes. It's like, bro, that don't impress nobody. How you do those notes matter at the end of the day. That's why SCV and them get so praised a lot because it's more than just notes on a page.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but all season, I have been saying Mandarins have had my favorite book that looks just fun to play. Period. It looks like I would have a ball every single show just to play that book if I was it's
Mm-hmm.
snare line specific. But um, I don't know why I've just watched that group and I'm like, dude, this book looks really fun to play, bro. Like really, it really does look fun to play. But if I gotta pick it, I'm a swing it Boston, but god dang SCV. I don't know what the hell Boston said to him in the truck lot or whatever.
Somebody somewhere.
Somebody
I mean,
said something to them, and you should have knew better.
They're in that hyperbolic time chamber
right.
before prelims started and
Right? That's something. They
matured
was in there
This was
eating sitsu
also
beans with Goku, and I don't know what was going on.
this was also the year of the baseline.
Oh
It
yes.
really was
Like,
that too, because
first of
Crown.
all,
Even the Marine Corps
it
band had a
that's what I was
fire
about to say. The
baseline.
Dude,
night started with the Marine Corps group, and I
God.
was like, "Are you kidding me right
Yo,
now?"
me and Zach look at
Bruh,
both each other
These
like,
mothers,
what?
I was
dude,
like,
we was up top,
"Shit,
listening, and I was like, "This
it's like,
okay," and then I was like, immediately,
good
let me get the camera out.
lord." That I mean, there was just one run. And I was like, "You've got to be shitting me!"
Like
Like, this is what
literally,
we're doing.
no, it is.
This is like y'all's part-time thing. Like y'all got other stuff you're supposed to be doing, but y'all gonna come out and play this clean?
I
Whatever,
well,
whatever.
I had the privilege of watching the Marine Band night concert last year,
Mm-hmm.
and
Is it when they came to Bowling Green?
no. This was
Who
at
was it that
Washington
was there?
D.C. at the Marine
Uh,
Barracks.
oh,
And they did that show. They did the show that they were going to do at that, and I sent you guys a message. I was just like, they finna win DCI World Finals. Like, it's because I was like, what you ain't finna do
Right?
is play all of this stuff. But no, man, I mean, those cats that do that, they take it seriously. Like it's legit.
It sounds
That's
like
one
they
thing
just
I
took a
like.
snare line and put it on the bass line is what it sounded like to me. Like
Them
That's
cats
one
all
got
thing I
bands.
like. Is like the groups like the Marine Corps and who do take stuff like this seriously, even when if you're not competing. It's
hmm
like when you find that college that actually takes it seriously, college band, and
mm-hmm.
you're not getting much from it, but you hear them take it serious, and it's like okay. That's why I think groups like RCC get respect in their college band and stuff like that. But I like stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
Competing or not, man, give it everything you got.
And I
All
think their
right.
tuning. I think their tuning brings out a lot
Oh,
better.
yes.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Yes.
That's that military tuning though. It's
Right.
crisp.
Not missing a single turn on that thing. All right. Let's get into favorite props. So, what props are one of your favorites that you saw on the field this year? I think it's Ced's turn first.
Oh, God. Let me go through. Man, you know, Madison's.
It's a good one.
Madison's. Like they were there, but they never seemed obtrusive. Like
It felt like it was just enough.
yeah.
It was right. It fit the color scheme.
Um,
Like it wasn't like you could have had the same show without him, and it would have been fine.
yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah.
They didn't make the show. They just added the sprinkle on top.
Yeah.
Which literally did because they added the fleur de lis to the back of them.
Yeah, that was cool.
At the end of the season. So yeah, Madison, I say.
I am going to say BD. And the reason why I say BD
Props are
is
crazy.
if I
Those
think
were so cool.
if the show was what I think it was about, with the props being from the classical period and being the symmetrical and like just ornate to the romantic period and them being pulling out and being asymmetrical and different
Kept
colors.
changing,
Yeah, things like
opening
that.
up.
With the carousel, when me and Zach were at Murfreesboro, we're like, why they have horses? You find out the horses are there because during the romantic periods when carousel started having horses on them, like just stuff like that. I think that's what makes, for me, anything without props, BD does such a good job with them always. And so, especially this year, if I can have that interpretation of that for my opinion. I think that's what they did. So for me, BD's props were definitely, and they held stuff too. Like they had rifles and sabers and stuff like that in there, multifaceted. So, Wheel.
I actually gave this to Crown. I kind of dug how I always every time they did that section, I always looked for when they pulled the chain through each, and I was trying to figure out how they kept doing it. I was like, how y'all get this chain through?
Did you see they changed that?
Yeah, they did.
For finals or that finals week. Like he didn't like pull himself out of the tower. He went up into it instead. Sorry, I noticed that.
Yeah, I was. They kind of did what I thought they was going to do. I actually was hoping that they were going to probably like put lights on the prop, but they did put the little flame on there and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. I got a Troopers honorable mention, but I did like how they move and I say Crown a lot because it reminds me of like watching plays and stuff like that, or something you would see in that kind of realm.
Zach.
I'm gonna go with the Blue Stars. That Saturn prop was cool.
It's just immaculate. That was the
so
detailed.
That was really awesome. I really like that. And then honorable mention. Yeah, honorable mention. Mandarins.
I like those. I like them.
Once I saw them in person, and I saw that like on the outside, it was like kind of like grayscale and just like the outside of a building. But when they flip them down the inside, it looked like a nightclub. I was like, once I saw that in person, I was like, okay, I'm in.
All right. So next one's favorite tech. Okay, I'm taking this in I'm going to take it in a different direction.
Use of technology.
Yes, I'm going to take mine in a different direction, and it's not sound technology. It's kind of what Will's talking about. I'm going to say Troopers. with the props, with the different levels and suspension and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool, and it added a lot to their show. So I think that was an innovative way of
Yeah.
using their props with the lifts and things like that. So my nod goes to Troopers for favorite tech there.
Mm-hmm.
Will.
Yeah, I think I gave that, giving this the Colts, Blue Coats, because I'm trying to figure out when it first started. Did they start bringing like 47 speakers out during tilt?
Well, definitely Kinetic Noise.
Definitely
Yeah.
Kinetic Noise. Probably.
Probably around there. But they have some of my favorite ways of just utilizing a random sound, and it beats just enough. You ain't got to repeat it sometimes. Well, sometimes they will, but this year, I mean, they didn't. It was like I only heard it at the end, never heard it anywhere else, and then just who in their mind thinks to Mike Flags and just they, I just.
We feel you.
I wish SCV got their credit with what it was, Spark of Adventure or something like that.
Oh, dude, that's
I
one
wish
of my favorite
that
shows,
year got
man.
credit that year.
They
but
did some. That show should. It had a lot of technology.
Well, they had that weird theremin. Yeah, they had a theremin down there on the field. Like that was
one
awesome.
of the first time people was like, "What?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody see?" So, but yeah, and I know I ain't even naming half of it that Blue Coats did this year. It's just.
All right, Zach.
I'm gonna go with Boston. I mean,
good choice.
It's pretty straightforward on that one. But I like the DJ was really cool. But honestly, like if you could have took that out, you probably could have had the same.
You would have.
Like it would have served the same purpose.
Yeah, they just took a programmed soundboard and made it live. That's what I think about it. That's exactly what it was, like the scratches or whatever.
Not taking anything away from
No.
the DJ.
No, they could have. But she did do all those. Like she commanded each one and actually initiated all that. But they could have done what you said. They could have just did a track or something on a rolling pad or something like that. But I thought it was cool that they did train somebody to do that.
Sad looks like he's over there cooking something.
Well, I'm sitting here trying to decide who I want to pick between Boston and Blue, because Boston really did step up their game when it comes to that stuff. But they had to make this show work. I mean, for them, you think about the quotes and the patches that they use for specific sessions. You know, glitching out Brent Crocker. You know, as we call it, performing their 2025 program, like, you know, the wormhole section with the DJ and all of the synth patching. Like, a lot of that was really, really smartly done. But then you talk about Blue Coats and all of the, you know, processing of sound, and I mean the guard feature alone is next level when it comes to that type of stuff. So I think both of those two groups did some really good stuff with it, and a lot of other groups did too. I mean, BD's always really good at it. There's just very understated. Vanguard did, you know. You talk about that shot, and then it's this dead silence for a count. I mean, you can hear the sound get sucked out of the arena before they come back in. So, but it's to me, it's a tie between Boston and Blue Coats, because they did what they needed to do to make their shows work. And I think they kind of changed the game a little bit too. They finally maximized their use of technology, and they got credit for it. I don't think they've gotten credit for it as much in the past. I think people thought it was a crutch instead of part of the artistic process, and I think both groups got credit.
Can you say that for the people in the back? Man, please.
They know.
Y'all need to listen to just that snippet right there. And
They know who they are.
Mic drop.
All right. Now we're going to go into kind of big overall ones. Favorite ballad. Your favorite ballad. And Will, we're going to start with you.
God dang, it's tough because hearing it live almost solidified it. Because Sid had been talking about it, but it was BDE's ballad.
It's good.
Because here's the thing, I was stuck on Blue Coast because I know them and Mandarins basically had to say one, but I loved how Blue Coast
arranged it,
transitioned, I guess, into it.
Yes.
They had a smoother way of doing it than Mandarins did.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made me like their version better in a sense.
It was just executed better.
Yeah.
The Mandarins do. I mean, it was just inconsistent.
It was, and it was sad for them for that because I even think he fracked that at finals. Yeah. But but when I heard it joint live, I heard BD live. I think I just sat there and I was like, "This is actually unfair," and it is really quite shocking that this is getting beat by two other people.
I mean, Zach and I, when we were at Murfreesboro, we heard because I think BD went. Did we BD go last that night? I think, and they came out, and me and Zach literally looked at it and were like, "Dude, I don't know if Boston can beat that." Like,
that final score was still tight, but
I'm telling you, that show is underrated.
It's just an attest that how hard groups have to go to beat BD, and it's actually quite annoying.
Yeah,
but they crushed that ballad, dog. It's legit.
All right, Zach. Zachary.
Oh, sorry.
I was somewhere.
I was in another tab listening to something real quick. Sorry. My favorite ballad is actually the Mandarins. It's not the same section that they had as the Blue Coats. It's after that. The build up into the fleur de lis, that section where the low brass has all those moving notes, but all that, and then when they hit the fleur, and it's just like, I don't know what that song is. I think it's a hymn. I'm gonna have to look it up. It's not the Wynton Marsalis song. It's another one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to look up their rep. I think it's a hymn though. But man, I really liked that. That was a nice touch. Honorable mention, also Blue Coats, because they always have. I say it every year. I don't think they could have a better ballad, and then they do it better the year after.
They usually are my first pick all the time.
Oh my gosh, I still get caught up in the Garden of Love ballad. Like I will go back and just listen to that over and over again. I'm like, this is dumb. And I also really like Session 44's ballad too.
There's always been two things I've usually said Blue Coats have been probably DCI kings at
Contraline.
That's having a contraline and ballads.
Yeah.
There's nobody else that has my favorite contraline, but I've always usually had them kind of on top for ballads, and they have the best transitions.
Yep.
It's like I don't understand how y'all know how to do transitions. First of all,
it feels like they just like you ever watch like those behind the scenes when they do like the orchestra for like movies, and like that's what I feel like they do. They're in the studio like trying to figure out.
You got like Hans Zimmer freaking writing.
Right, that's what it feels like, man.
Don't even give them the idea.
If that happened, I'm out. I'm not going on that show.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they've done some Hans Zimmer before.
Mhm.
Metropolis,
Bring a whole wormhole on the field.
Angels
Right.
and Demons.
Hell,
They
y'all
did
get-
it. BD. I mean, I've been saying it all year. BD's my favorite ballad. Blue Coats was great also this year. It's just so well executed. Even when they do frack, it doesn't feel like it's a frack. It's like they did it on purpose. So, yeah, okay, it happens.
Oops.
And then the Mandarin do it, and you're like, ew.
It's like, God dang.
What's going on? But
Heard that at the concession line too. I tried to get Cedric's attention. I was like, boy, did you hear that? We all the way up here. And I was like, God dang, bro.
Yeah, but no, it's BD ballads are when BD ballads are great, they're freaking.
When they're on, they're on.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, when they did When a Man Loves a Woman,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought there was going to be a baby boom. I'm sure.
Little baby bump.
So yeah,
All right,
BD's my favorite ballad here.
for my favorite ballad, it's different, but Boston, True Colors, like that. I like it, man.
I'm not mad at it because
It grew on me, but
were you worried about like I was? Because
I just think other groups have done it better.
Really.
I liked when Mandarins did it.
See,
when they did it in the life right after the year they broke into finals,
Yeah,
I liked when they did
that.
it.
Yeah, I forgot they did that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song, and so
I do too.
anytime it comes out, like.
I also wonder if emotionally they couldn't take it there because of the concept.
Yeah, because they also glitch it too when they play it.
They do.
And it's probably one of those too where they didn't want to just do it straight off the book, like straight up and down. This is True Colors. Like they wanted to do it in a different way, not like completely different, but give it a little bit of variety so that people didn't know what to expect, but they knew the song, which I totally get.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 2 big ones left. Our penultimate one.
What?
Means the next to last.
I know that.
Okay. Okay. Well, you said one. I'm like, okay, maybe you don't know what penultimate means. Okay. Favorite moments.
Oh, Jesus.
Zach, it is you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my ballad, the Fleur de Lis in the Mandarins, but that's not my favorite. That's my honorable mention. My favorite moment is the Madison Scouts when they hit Unholy to the end of the show. It is just come on, let's go.
You took it.
That right there. That's mine. That's mine.
Took it from.
Sorry.
All right, Sid.
Probably the end of Boston show when they legit glitched out.
Oh,
like from the point when they do that after the ballad and they're side 2 and they do that tick it up from then on you got me by the throat. Just take me home. And then the circle. And I'm so glad they did change that ending because I was like, this can't be. But when they changed it, and one of the smartest things they started to do was when they started to glitch out, they would do a key modulation every single time they do that.
Yes.
Kids,
with the screamer.
E-signatures, please, because like,
how do you have sharps and flats in the same? I don't understand how that works.
But the ending parts of that show, I'm just getting chills thinking about it. Just the ending, how they decided to end that show, was yeah, like for me, well, that it was great.
For me, I really like corn.
I like corn. So yeah, the Boston's basically closing.
All right, for me,
I already know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
Phantom Regiment.
It is not Phantom Regiment.
Oh man!
Oh snap! It is the electric guitar, Spanish guitar section in Troopers. That is one of my.
Oh
favorite moments of this year.
Honorable mention.
My gosh, man,
Troopers.
Did you
Yes.
feel he's 15 years old? Y'all see that?
Shut up.
Yes, 15
I
years
like-
old
No.
out
like-
there. Yeah, playing
Hot
the
take.
devil.
I like him. I didn't like that moment.
Oh,
I thought
I
it went
love
on.
it, man.
I thought it went on
Get-
too long.
Out.
I thought it went
It's
on.
like-
I can see it. But you better get used to it because they're probably going to bring him back
Oh,
for
yeah,
next year.
He's the feature for the next.
He won't be the devil again, but they'll
if I had,
ride
like-
that.
If I had to narrow it down, it'd probably be the Spanish guitar section, like for sure. Like it's so that part for me. It's so good, gritty,
Oh,
and just it's just really good moment.
it
So,
just fits the vibe, man.
yeah. Mhm.
Passes the vibe check.
All right, Will.
Zach took it. I was legit on that. Like that. As soon as you said it, that was immediately went in my head was Scout's moment.
Yeah, for that first bum.
Because
Dude.
it
You're just like,
solidified,
oh yeah.
it solidified everything from
Yeah.
that season on. When I finally got to see it, it solidified that whole me streak. Like y'all got to get in finals. Like that whole thing, because I was like, "This, oh my god, this is good." And then I was like, and I paid attention more to their G and music scores, and I noticed that those were hanging to keep them there. And obviously the perk was hurting, but I was happy about those scores because those, like for me, being a win player and marching with them, those matter so much. And but. I was just like, y'all. I was like, thank God y'all did that so good, because you see the reps and stuff, and then you wonder sometimes how you're gonna do it.
Well, especially
what's it
coming
gonna
right
be?
off a year where Mandarins did it too, and you're
You
like,
see
are
what
they
I'm
going to try to
saying?
do the same thing?
It's like,
But
come
no,
on,
it
y'all.
was their own version, and it
Yeah,
was
I
perfectly.
loved
It was perfectly Scouts.
But that whole
Yeah.
show, I mean, they did
the whole.
Magnum memento that Blue Coast did in the car show, and I forget the name of it, 2 years ago. And I still thought the same thing. It's like, are they going to do it just like that? But they didn't. They did it their own way.
And that's what you
I
have to
was
do.
so happy about it.
Yeah.
So happy about it. So yeah.
Honorable mention of Blue Coast color guard feature.
Yes,
Oh,
that was a good
yeah.
moment. Oh yeah, hands down. So good. All right, we got one last one. Favorite show of the year. What show to you, top to bottom, did you enjoy the most? And guess what? Said you're going first.
Seattle Cascades. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I was going to say BDC.
Yeah.
Hey, honorable mention BDB for favorite show.
Ooh.
That show was good.
Oh man, top to bottom. I was kind of alluding to it when I went through my favorite moment of the show, but I think Boston was my favorite show, top to bottom, because to me, as a marching show, it's when you take a concept that's kind of abstract. What are you gonna do? And I know Blue Coast did the same thing, and I mean they are like 1A, 1B, like here, but just as an enjoyable show to watch over and over again, watch and listen to. I think Boston is just it's palatable. Anybody can get it. It's got layers, and like what they decided to do with Glitch, I think was.
I'm gonna say, I think what's cool about that show is that like we've kind of knocked Boston in the past before with like them doing a show that people will know what it's about, and it hurt them because people didn't take it that way that they wanted to interpret it.
Yeah, that's a good
But this
point.
year, like you said, it was abstract enough. We understood what Glitch meant, but they did it in a way that people were like, "Oh, that's cool." But then they did some really crazy stuff in there as well. So I think that's their show is awesome. Mine, I don't have my conductor hat in here. But Choo Choo Phantom Regiment, that was my favorite show of the year, man.
Choo choo.
Choo Choo.
Choo.
Just for me, man, like I mentioned them, they're one of my favorite brass sections this year. Just I love the sound that they have, and it's raw, like I said, it's edgy. last year we got a taste of it, and they kind of didn't have the steam to finish. Like we wanted that show to finish, and then this year they came through big time. So for me, Phantom Regiment was one of my favorite shows of the year. Will.
I no joke, went back and forth with this a little bit. I think I'm going to I think I'm gonna give it to Phantom. But I was this close to giving it to SCV.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good show too.
Like, I'm talking about super tight.
Mm-hmm.
Super tight.
SCV would have been third on my list.
The moment I seen it, first show out, I had been locked in with them the whole season, regardless of what the numbers been saying. None of that. The whole time, I dig Phantom. Just something about it, man. I'm having a hard time putting my finger on it, but it's just, it was so well put together for them, and maybe it's a little bit of me just happy to see them there, up there again.
Mm-hmm.
Since what was it, Spartacus? That was the name of that show.
08.
It's like, God, dog. You know,
First time we went to finals.
what you said, it's like Jesus. So, man, yeah. It's an ender you don't forget. So, but SCV was just, I'm telling you, man, it's blowing my mind. Just the design of it. I just don't see how you come up with that and you pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like they come back from being out a year, and they're like, we can't spend any money on props. How are we going to do this? Got it. And it's just like, dude, I mean, it's just smart, man. Smart.
And the willingness to come back and not just play it safe,
That too,
and just go for it. Like, that's takes some guts.
because you still went home with hardware, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know how hard that is.
Yep.
All right, Zach.
So, SCV was my favorite show on finals night. Just seeing it in person and live and experiencing it in front of me like that was my favorite show of the year on finals night. But my show of the year is the Blue Coats. From the first note. Like, you just knew.
I
Like,
tried to tell y'all.
literally from the first note, you just knew. You just knew that it would change everything.
Literally.
Yeah. For me, that's the
I'll
new
see
framework.
myself out.
Yeah.
Say that again, because you're right.
For me, that's the new frameworks.
Yeah.
Like, frameworks, for me, for a long time, frameworks was the show that I would look at and be like, this is what I think marching band should be.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that show made me want to write original music, because they were, Cavies was doing original music when they went on that tear from 2001 and 2001, 2002. And next after that might have been The Zone, because that kind of stepped out of the round too. But then it didn't really happen again until Kinetic Noise, and I'm just like, this is okay. So this is the type of stuff I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why I use a lot of stuff that they use all the time. And I think this show now, this that changes everything, is that next show for me. It's. I mean, I could have put that one as my favorite very easily, but
I mean, yeah, there were 2 or 3 others I could have picked too, but SCV hit different on finals night.
That might have been the show of the night, and I felt that was the way too. I think we said the same thing 2 years ago
when they did it last time,
because we thought they were going to jump whoever it was that was ahead of them that year. I don't remember who it was. Maybe
year?
Crown.
Yeah, they was full because they have some way coming in finals and just
putting it all together, man.
Emotionally,
Best rep.
Yeah.
like emotionally, like I think Blue Coast. I'm not. Everybody's professional.
Yeah.
You talk about beating, and you hate to try to say, okay, we know we got this in a bad kind of deal. Everybody's out there, they're giving it all, they're doing this, that, and the other. But then you see those few groups where you see it in their eyes just a little bit more than the others, maybe. Like, we know this, everybody knows this is the end kind of deal, and blah, blah, blah. And you just, it's so hard to describe, but it's like SEV did that. It's like, man, there's a different energy coming right now today. I don't know what it is, but SUV has that for
We
somehow.
definitely peaked on finals night. The last two nights.
You know how hard that is to do.
Like, I'm just
I have argued for. I'm telling you, I've argued for years and told people I was like, it is difficult.
I was in trouble.
See, and it is difficult to peak twice a year. If you truly know what the feeling of peaking means as an individual, it is almost probably impossible to do twice in 1 year. It is a feeling that is not brought by any thought process. It is an outer body experience that you literally don't control, and you forget all being when you're in that moment. I've told people before, I've gotten so into something one time, I literally peaked in a warm up and I was pissed because I knew I did. And I did everything in my being to try to get myself back to that feeling in the finals run, because we were at finals in indoor. And I know we still had a fantastic run, but I'd had nowhere close to the feeling that I did as I did in the light. And I was mad. I was like, this is a real thing. It's a whole inhibition. You let go of everything. I feel like they do that, and to get a whole group to do that like that, man, that's tough. That's super tough.
All right.
Somebody pissed their battery off.
Lord have mercy.
Someone says something in that park. I don't know what they said.
I think it was the color guard. It was like, look, we tired of y'all.
Right, you about to get more tired of us.
I hope you.
Quick one, real quick. Top 4 out of the
Wait a minute.
top show out of top 6.
Top show of the top 6?
That's not in the top 6.
Oh.
Favorite show?
Favorite show out of that's not in the top 6.
Phantom. Not in the top 6. Sorry, not in the top 6.
Yes.
Favorite show not in top 6?
Favorite show not in the top 6. I'm gonna say Colts for me.
Mine's a toss up between Scouts and Mandarins, and I'm gonna go Scouts.
I'm gonna say Troopers to be mine.
I'll go with Mandarins.
Mandarins would have been my second.
Scouts would have been mine.
The Scouts would have been my second. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Colts third.
Scouts are my first. Troopers would have been my third.
Scouts would have been my second. Crossman would have been my third.
That show, like music wise, was good.
Pacific Crest would have been my fourth. Hot take. I didn't care for Troopers. Like it's.
You haven't like the past 3 years.
Yeah.
I like the
you're
old
like
show.
you're like Zach with the Crossman, man. Get you out of here.
Listen, I didn't say it was bad. I just didn't care for it.
What do you mean you don't like America's corn?
One of the original 7.
How dare you?
And I didn't really care for Mandarins this year either.
The blasphemy.
I'm with you on that one. I liked it, but it was not like up there for me.
So, not to say they executed it poorly or anything like that. Neither group. Like,
No.
I thought both groups played really, really well. But
It's all about preference, man. What you like.
So.
Honorable mention for all of these categories. the Indiana Impact Band.
Get out of here.
You know what? You can find us on
Oh man!
Hey man,
Chris.
Bye.
was Al Chad still the trumpet player?
Yep.
Yes.
He's still there. Pointing
Listen,
his finger at all the kids.
He's been in more finals than BD has.
God.
I'm just like,
It's
come on, man.
That's probably true.
He's been in as many as Brent Crocker for sure.
Might be true.
I just love when he walks out there. He's like,
streak.
yeah, and just points at everyone and then sits there for a second, just, whee! All right, see y'all later.
I bet you he still has shag carpet in his house.
Oh, in the bathroom too.
In a conversation pit.
Jesus. That carpet is rank.
So, but yeah, it's, you know, when superlative, you only get to pick one or maybe two in my case because I picked up two a lot of times. You know, it's hard to give it. But
It's hard, man. Yeah.
But really, just this year, all 12 courts were great, fantastic courts. All deserve to be there, and it made for a great finals night. It really, really, really did. You know, if I didn't have a small bladder, I would have watched them all. So yeah, but I mean, it was good. So be looking out. I mean, you can let us know in the comments down below what your thoughts were on these superlatives.
Yes.
But be looking out on socials, and we may put some polls out to let us know what you think, and we may talk about it briefly next week. And like, you know, the fans, we said this, you guys voted this. So this will be your chance to let yourself be known and be heard on the podcast. And we got some things coming up. You know, this is kind of I don't want to call it a dead period, but it's kind of a postseason type of thing. So we got some stuff coming up, hopefully in the future. Maybe some interviews with some folks. My cat's tail in my mouth, you know, all types of stuff.
So wait a minute.
That needs to be on Patreon.
We would also like to hear from our listeners. What show from this past season would you like for us to provide commentary for?
Yeah.
You know, what would you like to hear our thoughts? I know if you were on our live streams, you probably heard some things from us, but we'd like to know from you all, what would you like for us to, I don't want to say react to because
I'm going to say react.
Yeah, but provide
What
commentary
you want us to
upon.
react to. Reaction.
Because everybody else calls it a react and has seen the
Reacting.
show, and I'm wondering if that dude took. Sorry.
I don't care what he said.
Anyways,
That guy's been blocked and reported, so he's
react.
Oh,
it's one thing to say what you got to say, but it doesn't. Like I was like,
yeah,
like there are 8,000 other DCI podcasts that one does what we do. Like, who pissed in your Cheerios? But anyway,
right. We love our fans though, and we love the people that watch us.
Where else can you start out talking about getting strep throat from a student and go all the way to your favorite show of the year?
So yeah, so you know, we got some stuff coming up. So don't fret. Don't be like, well, what are you gonna talk about? Trust me, we can find something to talk about.
Yes.
Even if it's not drum corps related.
Don't worry, backhashers. We've got you.
We might need to do another just get to know us. We haven't done.
Been a minute.
That. It's been episode 1. It's the last time we did that.
Wow.
And we are on 80. This will probably be 87 or 86, something like that.
87.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 87.
Listen,
So
we've cranked out some content, man. We got almost over 200 videos up.
yeah.
We're doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
Right.
So anyway, you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So make sure you comment, like, share, subscribe, share some more.
Oh, I do have a milestone. We are over 100 followers on Spotify now.
Yeah.
So thank you all for listening over there. It's awesome.
People watching, people listening. That's awesome, man.
Yep.
So thanks. Like I said, man, this is something fun for us to get together and do. So, you know, and share and it's cool because we have like regulars, man. It's kind of cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like appreciate everybody listening and chiming in wherever you get a chance to. And like I said, man, go support all of them. Like everybody got their own lane that they're in, and doing, you can get DCI content of a lot of different ways from a lot of different people and give you a lot of different viewpoints too.
Yeah.
We're all teachers and kind of do our own thing and stuff like that. And then you got some cats that have been in it and on staff, and they kind of have their perspective. And then, so lots of different ways you can go about it. So, I encourage you to listen to anybody that has something out there, man. Just fill your week with drum corps, pageantry, arts, madness.
Or listen and watch us 20 times. It doesn't matter.
That
Whatever
works.
you want to do.
That works. So, fellas, you got anything else before we close it out?
It's a good year, man.
It is, man. It was.
Happy marching band season.
Yeah.
Shoot that on the radio. Yeah. Good luck for all of those going through marching band season. Some people probably may have started competing. State fairs this week.
I think Will's area starts in December, so they got a little bit of time before.
We're in still band camp mode.
Right. I don't think you even have band camp yet. Thanksgiving's band camp, I thought. You're wrong.
So for Chris, Zach, and Will, my name is Ted. This has been another episode of On the Back Cash. You guys take care of each other, and we are
Dut out.